So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
See, each one of us has our own particular piece of tonnage, our resonation in the resonating reality around us, our little part in the divine harmony of sweet symphony of life and love and pursuit of, the happiness thereof. Well, we ain't pursuing nothing. We're creating that right here in this moment, dear. Which, yeah, I gotta tell you, because of its multi-dimensional presence, it's a little out of here, man, but that's where you get it clear. When you let yourself dissolve into, away from the 3D, into the more natural reality, the natural truth that surrounds you, see, then you don't need none of the beliefs and practices of the 3D anymore. You start to see what a brainwashing zoo, what a jungle that be. There in the 3D, what a disguise, too, for paradise to be wearing, to live in hell. A heartless life. The untruthful, leading the unwise and the blind, man, right over the edge of DEATH. Oh, my goodness, don't fear the Reaper, though, baby. The Reaper helps you get it clear. The Reaper's right here inside of you and me, and right now, there's nothing to be afraid of, man, because we ain't passing away. We're dying into our own paradise. We're letting 3D go, man. All of the drama, all of the poetry, all of the symmetry, all of the bullshit. Everything that you see doesn't have to be. It's a nightmarish dream we've created out of the presence of our heart so that we could learn to dance with life and find the full expression of our love, so we could really appreciate the dynamic nature of the truthful harmony, the symphony, the grand rock opera called love, which is life, which is light in motion. L-I-M, baby, out on a limb again. You betcha. And when we fall off of that limb, guess what? We don't fall, we fly. See, everybody thinks it's the end, and it's a disaster for the 3D. Well, of course, we've created enough of them here, haven't we, dear? By rights, we all should be dead and out of our head and gone. But we're not. We're still present in the 3D, but we're moving with that reality into the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 2 parallel, 3 parallel, 4 a whole bunch of parallel universes. Well, goodness gracious, Aloysius, I think we just found the true meaning of life, the central purpose in being. The experience here is invaluable beyond belief. These are the fertile fields of life, giving forth the base elements of love in the most obtuse sort of ways. It's very disguised here. It's very ironic there. Very satiric, too. That's why it's coyote medicine. That's why there's a cacti at the headwaters of life here at Spring Creek. Your moment of truth in a little tiny sound booth. Yeah, see, that cacti represents the coyote medicine, the coyote way. Without the fragrance of the cactus blossom, the essence of the cacti, which helps you move beyond the 3D, you'd be forever trapped in a fixed reality. Never wake up. That's no fun, man. We got to have our day in the sun. We got to have our day of life. Got to have our moment of truth, don't you know? Because we are the daylight. And we go forward in the night to make it bright. Just like the moon does, only in a far more dynamic way. We're a star, wouldn't you say? And as each one of us, becomes clear, dear, well, it's a nuclear explosion here on the face of the earth, spreading across it in the great light of love. There will never be night again. For we have united again with the full presence of our personal self, the full presence of being in the universe within our personal self, which also is represented in an outer reality around us. See, we're all like that little baby child, that little embryonic thing, there in the middle of the dream where it all begins. And we're just barely learning to live, how it is to be in the flow of reality, see? Yet, because we are that little seed at the center of everything, we're everything that blossoms from it, too. Our full presence in creation. Some call it the tree of life. Well, it's a tree that grows in all directions. Its roots beyond, in the multidimensionality. But they rooted down here in the 3D, didn't they? See, there's nothing like the absence of the divine to help you feel its presence and to see its magic working in the most unlikely of times. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain, etc., As the illusions fall away, we learn to be kind and compassionate in a whole new way. We learn that we are the love of one another. Right here, right now, in this moment of time. All of these units, which are expressed personally, individuated, but not from one another, in congruity with one another. We're joined together like the cells and atoms inside of a personal presence, a physical presence. We have the full presence of life there too. And in the larger presence, we are united as the molecular presence of the center of our own little universe. Same way one of the molecules in your knee is, one of the molecules in your ear is, etc. Each has its own personal place of being and works and flows in the divine harmony and the nature of the physical presence quite automatically, which represents a weaker side of a stronger vision of life, the truth of how we function in our reality as the individuated beings and presences that we are. Yet just because we got a personal view, a personal perspective, it's a shared perspective, because what we see is everything to be, and everything to be tunes in with ye and sees that too. See, it's a mutuality of creation experienced in a personal perspective sort of way. That's the clear drink of water you came here for today, so you can remember and grow, understand what you are, don't you know, the full presence of heart in this reality. And you can be as mischievous as you want in this 3D. Whatever you do comes forward naturally, presently, and creates no harm for anyone, for such a thing is not possible in the symphony, the grand symphony, the rock opera of love we call life, man. It simply flows together the same way all the cells and atoms, molecular structures perform and function inside the physical 3D. The physicality, see, it's a weaker version of a stronger strength. A stronger presence of being, a presence that knows its place. And not only that, is ecstatic in its place as the embryonic essence from which life is birthed in all directions. And what does that mean, birth? It's not a painful experience in which you pass from life into the living death like we have done here in the 3D, at least in our perspective anyway. It's the knowing presence, the divine love, that has in its presence the creative urge, of course, and fulfills that urge, innocently so, in all that lives, in all that surrounds it. See, and it's never lonely. It's always joined by all the aspects of its person. And you're one of those aspects, and so am I, and so's Oki, and so are all these nice little objects here on my persons, here on my little altar of love, right alongside my pewter of broadcast and living life and color and black and white too, man. However you want it, that's how you get it. It's a multi-dimensional thing. See, so one person's going to hear one version of this and another's going to hear another. It's all a matter of varying levels and degrees of perception. The more we become perceived inside as the truthful presence united in all the energies of our personal person, the more we allow that nature to come forward. See, the psychological presence thought itself something different than the rest of the body, thought it had to dominate and control in some way, thought it had to worry its way through everything, sometimes manipulate and control others because of the weakness you feel. You couldn't receive just because your heart called it forward. You had to go and create it in this superficial way that feeds you in the dark way. But you had to know that path. You had to know that presence in order to appreciate the lightness in it. And when you see the lightness in it, the dark fades away. The same as night fades away when you become the daylight yourself. It's true, baby. That's how we begin our paradise here. It's a spring creek moment. It's a realization that our presence of being truthfully is that presence of being, and that every presence within us and about us reflects that presence of being. That's our unity. That's where the flow of life takes you. Back to that beginning moment so you can expand into all of it. Move beyond the limitations and restrictions we've imposed ourselves in this nightmarish dream we call 3D, you see. Coyote medicine through and through, coming through clear to you here today in that hazy radio sort of way through the heart of Grandpa and Okie and a whole raft of angelic personal presences that surround us and fill us and are astounded by our behavior here too and of how far we can come, considering where we've been, okay? Babies, the generations and all of the universe behind them are cheering us on today. And guess what? We already won the human race, man. We're already in the champion circle. I mean, all of us. It was a photo finish. Nobody could define a clear winner in a personal sort of way. Yet every person of humanity stepped across that finish line in unison, in harmony. Today, right now, here, in this moment of time. So we get the champagne and the pretty girls surrounding us, and, you know, we give paw prints now, you know, of prints, I should say. Baby, this pale horse of love just became the shining golden light of love that becomes the rainbow of creation, man, and it is so honored by that creation and so held in the heart of creation's presence. This is why we create. Is to be appreciated and to be appreciative of creation, to increase the gratitude by so many phenomenal degrees it cannot be measured, and neither can our creation surrounding us. It's a joyful shout that we call rock and roll in a multi-dimensional sort of way here at Spring Creek. Your moment of truth coming from this little sound bird. Ooh, babies. I don't know how much more colorful it can be, but babies, once we step beyond the 3D, we begin to see, wow, the presence of truth in all of this multidimensionality, baby. It's the inner vision expressed in an outer way. It's your moment of truth, day after day, yet here it is in one moment, all of it. That little embryonic moment represented in those embryonic waters of life there at Joyful Journey Hot Springs. So if you haven't been there for a while, man, go and melt down your troubles, okay, and get yourself re-rectified in those embryonic waters of life, okay? Because that's one of those places you can go and get the pure medicine of Mother Earth's flow. Babies, and there's nothing more grounding, and you will be astounded once you recover. It takes a day or two, you know, to get it all... Because there's a whole bunch of spirit energies there to help you on through, just like there is here day after day in that Spring Creek sort of way, only and exclusively. Live and spontaneous, too, on the Hazy Radio Network, babies. hazyradio.com, we got it on. And so does Joyful Journey Hot Spring Spa for their Inner Visions Conference, which has, well, today and tomorrow and Sunday, too. So that's the next 3 days, 23, 24, and 25 of June. 24, which is tomorrow, Saturday. Silly little lives before this time takes a back seat to the presence of right now. And how? See, this is how we bring our paradise around. Just by allowing it to be, just by allowing ourselves to see in that personal perspective sort of way. Same way Mother Earth sees it today, from the inner out. And from the outer in, and you feel it, baby, and you see it, and you be it, all of it, living there inside of Sweet Mary J., which is the larger presence of creation, only suggested in the herbal essence of the sacred herb we call Mary Jane, okay? See, she's here to help you get past the concepts of pain. She's here to help you soften up and realize the soft, baby-like nature of your true heart, of your true person, which is represented in that true heart, which is a replication of the mother's love with the father inside of her throughout all the ages and generations and all of creation within and beyond that too. All of it. That's our moment. That's our extension into the reality of life. That's the new clear way, baby. Given here today in that hazy radio sort of way. You want to get it clear, you got to go through the haze, dear. And hey, Z's here to help you too, man. But Z being our chairman of the board, Miss Zeta Love, who is in charge of the love here, right? Every day, man, she predicates the energy, this reality, so sweetly, don't you see? That's why we're still here, man, after all these years, helping you get it clear, even though we reformatted it just a wee bit and brought forward the clear essence of life from Spring Creek, don't you know? A rock and roll medicine show that vibrates your harmony way beyond the radio. And by the way, it's a community service to tune it on up, turn it on up, right here, right now, today, and help everybody else get it clear, okay? That, be a humble servant of your own heart and listen to what it say. If you're hanging out in the coffee shop, bring your big speakers along next time. Wheel them up there and turn the radio on when Grandpa's on here at Spring Creek on the Hazy Radio Network. Ooh, darlings, you can't help but be appreciated even more than you ever were before. I mean, you may be the hottest thing since a rocket or a UFO too, man. Flying saucer, anybody? Oh, that's you too. But baby, you're hotter than even that, man. You're hotter than an ET on crack. You're hotter than the fire that brought you forward out of the humble presence of the stream of life, okay? The fire that gave you the desire to be who you are right here, right now, today, so you could feel it just in this way. Okay, it's so personal, yet it's so expansive in that personal presence, wouldn't you say? Goodness, golly. Wow, I tell you, today is our day, and this is our moment where we finally get it clear. Just relax right along with the Grandpa now. Couple of deep breaths, and release it all. Let it go. Just be what you are, right here, right now. Just close your eyes and feel and see the presence of the deal inside of ye. See how this rainbow of love radiates forward into creation from inside of you. Which is given amplitude and all of that good stuff from the golden energy of life that pours through you and gives you this interpretation we call perspective. This presence of being that can feel as well as be the whole life that lives inside of it and surrounds it as well. Babies, this is how we step into the paradise right out of the presence of hell. Seeing through the illusion. It does smell, oh baby, when things compose down. Ooh, there's some horrible smells around, but guess what? They become the sweet essence, the fragrance of the flowers that blossom therefrom. So allow yourself to see beyond the 3D. Allow it to compost it down around you until you see the essential truth of loving everything, of loving every moment, of loving all that you are and all that surrounds you too. Then you've just reunited. You've just become undivided. You've just become clear, dear. And the spatial reality gives way to the multidimensionality and the parallels too, which are no longer divided from the likes of me and you. But spread our vision clear into all of it, dear. That we be the creative artistes of life that we are. That we come forward to share the greatest love there can ever be. In this way we call natural, don't you see, because it's all in a flow, a knowing flow that is the glow we feel inside of ourselves, which becomes that urgent, real desire to be living in all of this creation. Our loving moments before this time, but a mere suggestion of this moment, outside of time. See, we only reflect into the 3D a little particle of you and me. And the doggy too. Okay, your cat as well. Whatever's familiar to you. That's what helps you get it real, get it right. Get to rocking from the center of it all. A shared universe which is lived in all as a singular presence, a person. The same way we live as a person in a smaller way, which is a reflection of the larger person of the Mother Earth too. Each person at the center in their own way, yet all joined and united in that center presence. That singular embryonic seed of life, of love, that brings it all forward naturally. Mother and son joined, undivided, joined as one. living truth, living presence, living reality, that now from all of the confusion and congestion and the chaos too, comes forward a life that's rock and roll, living harmony, don't you know? Into the larger rock opera of life, the symphony of love, the song of the heart, sung in every particular presence, as they paint their way into the expressions of love we call personal beings. Whether it's a little lizard crawling on the cabin wall today, or you sitting there in all your magnificent glory, wouldn't you say? And bringing it all forward in that rock and roll sort of way. Your body moves with the grooves of the multidimensional presence. The tribal beat brings forward the highest feeling, the highest accomplishment in ecstatic presence, and melds away any idea of separation and pain, right here, right now, in the presence of this moment, in this that we call the day, which is the night too. But in the night we shine bright to bring the light, and no longer do we stumble around in the darkness. This is where we be, this is what we see, this is who we are. Because we see it, we can be it. Allow yourself then to move beyond the fixed reality. Even in your personal presence, allow it to be. Allow yourself to expand into the reality around you. You see, you feel the mother love in all of it, don't you? The maternal is the eternal love that creates, out of the desire to create. And the Father is the direct light of it. See, they're joined in that embryonic love, that embryonic truth, where life just begins. The little speck where there's unity, for there's no longer a divided reality. The male and the female are the same. So release the thoughts of separation from your brain. In the diverted way we've lived, maybe no longer do we give in that way. No longer do we desire from a point of hunger or thirst, but from a point of full and complete satisfaction. Allow ourselves to blossom in others' harmonic truth, which is ours too. We're united. A singular conscious presence in every being that lives, in every life that is, in every love that is so given in that way. See, it's best that we desire to be in all of it, right here, right now, today. And through that desire become the fulfillment of that desire. Allow it to be so, for that is our living truth, our living love, flowing into you from 9,000 feet high in the Rocky Mountain sky, through the heart of this sweet little guy who can be a little sour too, man. A presence of life just like you. In fact, we're a replication of one another in every way, though we look so characteristically different, don't we now? Hey, baby, we're going to rock your world forevermore. Because truth has come forward to even the score here at Spring Creek, an original moment, the first one to ever be. The moment of love where we set ourselves free to be in all of it, don't you see?